The situation is that I'm expecting an influx of resources, in particular money, a sudden windfall of money or a sudden increase in money, in payment, some kind of up level, some kind of financial up level. I'm expecting it and I'm excited about it. But sometimes when I'm doing mindless activity, my mind wants to go to thinking about when this money comes in, what will I do with it? And then I think maybe I should plan it out. Maybe I should write a list of all the things that I'll do once I receive this money. And sometimes I even think of that general manifestation advice where they say, feel how you'll feel when you receive this money, but it's like I mangle that advice, I twist it up, and I try and think about all the things that I'll do with the money, not realizing that the feeling is just a feeling about the arrival of money. It's more about the feeling of who I'll be when that money arrives. But when I go to this, trying to make a list, trying to brainstorm, trying to imagine the things I'm going to buy, these material possessions, something is wrong. Then I feel uncomfortable. I feel this tightening in my chest, this clenching of my fists, some kind of anxiety, this desperation. And I wonder why I even try to make a list, why I even try to brainstorm, because money in this sense is just an indicator of expanding my identity. The money doesn't mean anything about me, about my individual self. It doesn't make me fulfilled. It's not going to make me happier. It's not going to make me more fulfilled. It's just a resource, because once my identity expands, then nature has not more ability to use me, but it's like I can hear the instructions from nature more clearly, more directly, without letting my stress get in the way. And so nature's ability to use me is quicker, it's easier, it's swifter, because I'm resisting less. And so resources will come in, which could be money, but it's simply because I need to move around. I need to use my fulfillment and go and fulfill some kind of need out there. And so the money is arriving for me to assist me to do that, to fulfill that role that nature wants me to fulfill. And so once I'm in that bigger identity, once I've stabilized a more expanded identity, how will I know what I want to spend the money on? Because right now, at a smaller version of myself, my perception, my consciousness, my awareness is more limited than it will be at that larger expanded point. And so And so as I am now, I can't actually see what I'll see then, because I'll be seeing more and I'll be aware of more possibilities, more opportunities. And so, of course, it feels uncomfortable for me to try and predict what I want from this smaller space I'm in right now, because I'm feeling the limitations, I'm feeling the constriction, the constraints. And then when I feel into my bigger identity, my biggest identity, there are no constraints, there are no limitations, there are no boundaries. And so there's this mismatch, there's this dissonance. So I know that is happening, but why am I doing that? Why am I trying to perceive from a smaller self when this bigger self is available now? And why aren't I letting myself stabilize in that bigger identity? If it's available now, why not be that now? Because I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait anymore. There's no point in waiting. I am it now, that biggest identity, and all the bigger identities along the way to the biggest. They all exist now, so why be small when I no longer need to be this small? Let's go to the part of me that is keeping me small. It doesn't feel right. There's something I'm missing. But I'm just seeing a white blank space. Is it something about control? Am I trying to control? Because when I was thinking about all the things I might buy, I mean, they're things that I thought would signal my bigger identity. And so it's like I'm trying to put on a costume of my bigger identity in order to feel like my bigger identity. So maybe it's not control, but it's feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm not big enough. I'm seeing a young girl wearing her mother's high heels and pearl necklace and fancy hat and fancy dress, and it's just way too big. And so that's how I feel now when I imagine the things I think I'll want, the things I think I'll buy, the services I'll enlist myself in. What do you call it? I'll hire. I'll recruit. Yeah, it's like I'm small and I don't deserve those bigger, those things that are for adults, those things that are for bigger people, more evolved people. So I'm not evolved. I'm not evolved enough. I'm not big enough. I'm not tall enough. Let's go to the child dressing up in their parents' clothes. I'm the child, and I look in the mirror and I look silly. I can see clearly that I'm not big enough for these clothes. I'm a child and these are adult clothes. But I really, really, really want to grow up. I really, really want to grow up. I want to grow up and be an adult. I don't want to be a child. I feel this rush, this desperation to grow up quickly. I want to evolve quickly. I want to progress quickly because how I am now, it feels not good enough. I don't like it. All these limitations, all these boundaries people are putting on me because I'm young. All these laws. I know they exist to protect the children, but there's something like I might be 6 years old, but compared to all the other 6-year-olds, or the other 6-year-olds, I'm more progressed in a way. And so something about my age is creating a limitation. And it's like the external world is bundling me all together with the rest of this group. Like being at school and perhaps I have a naturally more progressed intelligence, but they're still making me do mathematics at grade school level when I could be doing it at college level. So is it that other people are putting this limitation on you, or is it yourself? It's not other people. It's like maybe I'm trying to hide it. Maybe I'm trying to hide that I'm more progressed because I want to fit in with the people my age. Something like there are those genius IQ kids who are so young, but then they progress quickly through high school at a much younger age than the rest of their peers, and then they go to college earlier, but it doesn't necessarily turn out to be a better quality of life. They might miss out on the social aspect of life. It's like their skill in one aspect of life means that they end up having to sacrifice other parts of their life. And so I feel like if I'm the child dressing up in the parents' clothes, then if I grow up too quickly, then I miss out on the childhood. I miss out on the play. I miss out on that storyline. It's like the storyline is too quick. There's some kind of fear that it will end quickly. Like, what happens if you progress to the highest point? Does the world collapse in on itself? because it's like I can see the end point. It's like I can see the maximum success and it feels within reach. But I'm not letting myself feel it because I have this fear that it will be the end. It will be the end of the story. And maybe I'll look back and regret it. Regret that I wasn't in the present moment. Regret that my mind was always looking at this end point and not enjoying the journey, not enjoying the here and the now. And so I feel this rush, this desperation to get to that more evolved state now. But the problem is that I'm thinking of it in terms of material possessions. I'm just focused on how my bigger consciousness will bring bigger responsibilities, and that bigger responsibilities will bring bigger resources, and the bigger resources looks really impressive to the public because naturally I'll purchase things that reflect my responsibility and my bigger identity. So I might look affluent, but the thing is I don't even care about that. The resources are just coming to help me fulfill the need of the time. It's not even about me. It's about nature having a storyline and me being one of the characters, and nature uses my character plotline to create some kind of sub-story in the wider story of the universe. And for me, it feels like my certain character likes luxury things. But then I know that there are other highly conscious people who don't even own anything. They don't even wear clothes. They don't have a house. They live in a cave. And they might be in the same consciousness state as me once I progress, once I evolve into that consciousness state. And even though we look different, because nature had a different storyline for each of us, and therefore our resources look different, and what we spend those resources on looks different. But it's like I'm trying to get caught up in the resources. I'm trying to make it about how the public will see my resources and they'll think that it's inspirational. And then they might come to me for advice, or they might come to me for my service because they were first drawn in by the luxury or by my image or by the projects that I've completed or the work that I've done, my skill level. But then on the other side of the world, people go to people who live in caves and don't wear clothes and eat roots and tubers, and I don't know, it's just Like, I'm seeing myself as no different from that person, that yogi in the cave, that rishi in the forest. And so it's clear to me that it's the consciousness state that I want. It's the feeling of that, not even the feeling, but it's the experience of that bigger identity. That's what I really want. But yeah, I think that's just it. That's what I really want. And I know that. But why am I trying to think about what that bigger consciousness state would bring me in terms of material possessions? Well, I guess that's how it started. It's like my mind goes back to those material possessions as a habit, but it doesn't feel right. Feels tight, feels like I'm clenching. It feels uncomfortable. Something's wrong with it, and it's the focus. The focus is wrong because it's not the material possessions that I want, because I could be a yogi in the forest owning nothing and be just as happy, just as blissful. And I know that. But I also can see that that's not the path that nature wants me to live. Nature wants me to be a householder. Nature wants me to have relationships and to wear clothes and own things. But it's not the things that show off the consciousness state. They're not indicators of a consciousness state. And perhaps they're things that draw in my customers or my students or my people I need to interact with for some reason. But it also might not. I mean, that's the thing, is once I'm in a bigger and a bigger and a bigger consciousness state, as I grow bigger and bigger and bigger, my desires are going to change, because nature will naturally give me more responsibility. With more responsibility comes different desires. So how can I know? How can I know what I want then? I can't. I just have to allow myself to continue evolving, continue expanding, and then be present in the moment to hear what nature makes me desire, because that's how I'll know what to move towards. It's not something I can plan now. I can only see my desires that I have here and now, and then move towards those. And then that's just a forever updating path. It feels nice. Like, I don't have to plan. I don't have to figure it all out now, because of that always updating path. That's how I know what to do in each moment. And so all I have to do is be present and listen to what nature is having me desire. And the more I progress in my consciousness state, there's not really an end. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. It's not going to happen within the next 100 years. I know that. And so I don't need to worry about universe collapsing in on itself. And I can reach the highest consciousness state. And even then, there are still subtleties. There are still grades that are higher and higher and higher. More expanded, more expanded, more expanded. Because universe is constantly, consistently expanding. So again, that's not something I need to worry about. There is not really an end point. And so when these resources, this money appears, I'll know exactly what to spend on in the moment that it arrives, because the desire that comes through me at that moment will be exactly what nature wants me to spend it on. So I really can't make a list now. Maybe I can have ideas about the direction I think it might come in, but I can't be attached to that, because I know in my experience that you don't really know until the exact moment of.